Taurus edition of our Astral Pack series. So today's virtual class is going to be focused on grounding. Since we are moving into the Taurus season and this is one of our cardinal earth signs, we're really going to be focusing on not only grounding ourselves and connecting with the earth, but also grounding and connecting with ourselves, since that's ideally what our yoga practice is about. So today, first we're going to begin seated on our mats. So you can first go ahead and cross your legs, come to a comfortable seat. Here you want your sit bones planting firmly underneath you. Legs crossed. If this is uncomfortable, you can also extend your legs straight out in front of you. That works as well. And then from there, we'll sit up tall, press sit bones into the ground, extend the crown of your head up. Once you're ready, close your eyes.
As you continue to sink and settle into your body on your mat, understand that through this grounding process, what we're doing is starting to bring some of our energy and attention down out of our minds and out of the constant mental processing and chattering, and instead focusing it down into our bodies. So as we move throughout our yoga practice, we have the opportunity to focus on our breath, focus on sensation, what we're feeling in the muscles, in the bones, in our breath, in our lungs, and giving ourselves the opportunity to get in touch with our bodies, get out of our mind, and really just anchor and set ourselves up in the present moment. So as you continue to sit and sink on your mat, drop your attention down into your body. What can you notice about how you feel? The body, the breath. Just be a witness. From here, we're slowly going to start to transition into some neck rolls. So go ahead and drop your chin down towards your chest. Feel the back of your neck lengthening out. Then we're going to roll our head over so that our right ear comes over towards our right shoulder. Feel the left side of your neck lengthening out. Keep your shoulders down. And you're going to lift your chin up towards the ceiling and feel the front of your throat stretching and opening up a little bit. Right now we'll bring our left ear over towards our left shoulder, stretching through the right side of our neck. And then slowly drop your chin back down towards your chest. And from here we're going to smooth out these circles. So first moving towards the right, dropping the head back, then bringing your chin back down through center. And then once you are ready, go ahead and switch direction. So really just moving through a full range of motion, doing one neck circle in one direction and then switching. And it turns out that each astrological sign is associated with a different part of the body. And for Taurus, it's associated with the neck and the cervical spine. So giving ourselves opportunity to wake that space up. And then you're going to slowly make your way onto your hands and your knees. So make yourself comfortable, and you'll ground yourself with your hands and your wrists directly under your shoulders. And then separate your knees so they're out wide, about the length of your mat, or the width of your mat, and then sit your hips back on top of your heels. Your forehead comes down to the ground and your arms will reach out in front of you. So coming into a wide-legged child's pose. Here, allow your spine to be long. Scoot your forehead forward away from your knees a bit. Allow the shoulders and the neck to relax. Feel yourself sinking and settling into the hips and the legs. From here, you're slowly going to bring yourself forward and down onto your belly. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Bring your fingertips so they're up towards the top corner of your mat. Lift your elbows towards the ceiling and then press into your fingers and peel your chest away from the mat. Slowly lower down, keeping the armpits open. Good. And then inhale, you're going to lift yourself up, bring your chin to look over your right shoulder. Then lower yourself back down. Take an inhale, chin lifts, looks over your left shoulder, bringing a slight twist through the spine, then lower down. From here, bring your hands directly beside your chest. Press yourself up to hands and knees, and then glide back again for a child's pose. We'll keep it flowing. Inhale to come forward. And as you exhale, slowly lower onto your belly, again bringing your fingertips to the top corner. Inhale, lift your chest up. This time we'll hang out for a breath. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Nice long neck. Feel the shoulder blades pulling together behind you. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, fingertips into the mat, twist towards the right. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, chin goes towards the left. Maybe look towards your back heel. Exhale, lower down. Hands come onto the mat beside you, palms flat. Press yourself up, hands and knees. Again, glide back, child's pose. Feel the low back lengthening out. Again, inhale, round forward, coming to hands and knees. Lower yourself down onto your belly. Toenails press flat. This time, palms flat. Lift yourself up for a cobra. Now you can keep your shoulder blades down, coming towards your hips. This curve in your spine can be a little less dramatic than I have it in the video, and then slowly lower down. From here, tuck your toes under, firm up your thighs and your quads, press your hands into the mat, lift up for a high plank or tabletop, and glide back, downward facing dog. Adjust your hands so that your fingers are pressing into the mat, the knuckles, the palms. Nice, sending more of your weight down into your heels. From here, we're gonna pedal our legs out, so bend your right knee, and then bend your left knee. So just switching legs, bending through one leg and working the opposite heel down towards the ground. So you're getting a big stretch through the back side of your legs. Nice. From there, look to the top of the mat on an inhale. And as you exhale, we're gonna start to walk our feet up to meet our hands. Feet about hips distance apart. From there, take a halfway lift. Long spine, extend the crown of your head forward and then drop for a forward fold. Allow your head to hang heavy here. You can bring fingertips down onto the ground. Knees can be bent as much as you need to really allow your spine to lengthen and your head to drop. From there, we'll take an inhale to lift up halfway. Hands on the shins. Pull shoulder blades down onto your back towards your hips. And then again, exhale, come into a forward fold. This time we'll inhale, rise all the way up, arms reach, come to stand, gaze lifts. And then exhale, pull your hands down through heart center. From there, we'll keep moving. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift your gaze. As you exhale, we'll bend down for a forward fold. You can bend the knees, remember. Inhale to lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, we're gonna step our left foot towards the back of the mat. And then step your right foot back, so you're stepping into a high plank. On your exhale, glide back, downward facing dog. Again, sending the weight into the heels. Work them down towards the ground so you can feel the hamstrings lengthening, calves lengthening. Look back towards your knees or your thighs so the back of your neck is long, hanging heavy. From there, you'll slowly start to tiptoe, step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to lift up halfway, and an exhale to fold. Inhale, come to stand, arms reach, lift your gaze. Exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. We'll start again. Inhale, arms sweep up, gaze lifts. Exhale to dive down to the mat, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway. This time as you exhale, the right foot is going to step back, left knee over the left ankle, hands plant, then step back, high plank, inhale. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead, take 3 breaths here, in and out through the nose. Full, long, deep breaths. Next inhale, look to the top of the mat. As you exhale, feet will step forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. Again, exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll rise all the way up, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. Still warming up. Inhale, sink the hips low, bring the arms up alongside your ears. So sitting down low in our chair pose. Sink the hips low as if you're sitting down in a tiny little chair. Feel the quads engaging on the fronts of your thighs. Nice. Engage the muscles on your back so you can reach your arms towards your ears here, reaching towards the sky, palms face one another. Then from there, release. Hips go high, head goes low, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway again, long spine. Exhale, we'll step our left foot back. Lower your left knee down onto the ground. On the inhale, we rise. Arms come up alongside the ears. Exhale, plant the hands. Lift your back knee. Step back for a high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Pressing through the palms, again, grounding into our bodies. What is connecting you to the earth right now? Hands and feet press down. Breathe. On the inhale, you'll look to the top. Start to make your way forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. You're noticing the pattern in our flow. Then exhale for a fold. Inhale, we'll come up for our chair pose. Hips low, arms high, squeeze. Nice. And then come up to stand, arms, hands to heart center. Inhale again, we'll sink the hips low, arms up high. Exhale for a forward fold, dip towards the mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale this time as you step your right foot back, lower your right knee onto the ground. On the inhale, we rise, arms up alongside the ears, low crescent. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Inhale to hold for your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, glide the hips up and back. Good. From here, you have the option to stay still, or you can lift the heels up towards the mat and then plant them back down onto the ground. And from there again, we'll look to the top of the mat. Tiptoe or step your way forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold, hamstrings lengthening. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. Feel the muscles on your back. Exhale, come to stand, hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep the hips low, arms high again, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, head drips towards the mat. Inhale, half lift, long spine, reach your head away from your hips. Exhale, we're going to step our left foot towards the back of the mat, lower your left knee down. On the inhale, we rise, arms up. Nice, feel your hip flexors opening up in front of you or behind you, so your left hip flexors opening up. Feel that stretch, tuck your toes under behind you, so you can press your left toes into the mat. And slowly start to lift your left knee away from the ground, coming up for our high lunge. So lots of engagement in both of our legs, pressing the feet into the mat, arms still up alongside your ears. Nice. Then exhale, lower the hands down. We're going to step back for a plank. Maybe keep your right toes hovering away from the mat, and then glide back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Focus on what you feel in your body, not allowing the mind to come in and shake things up. Stay calm, stay centered. Full deep breaths. Good. From there, we make our way to the top of the mat. You can step or hop. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hips low, arms high, chair pose. Exhale, come to stand, hands at heart. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift, halfway, hands on the shins maybe. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step our right foot back, lower your right knee onto the ground. Inhale as your arms come up. And from here, draw low belly in and up. Tuck your right toes under behind you. Start to power down through both legs. Good. Arms up. Slowly start to press your right toes into the mat so hard that your knee lifts away from the ground. Squeeze your right glutes behind you, keeping that left knee over the left ankle, arms up alongside your ears. Exhale to lower the hands down. As you inhale, step your left foot back, maybe keep the toes hovering, and then exhale, glide, downward facing dog. Looking back in between the thighs or even up towards your belly button to lengthen the neck. Keep a nice long spine. One more deep breath. Beautiful. From there we keep it moving. Look to the top of the mat, step or hop forward. Feet come down, inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, you're going to sweep your right arm back, reach your left arm forward. Inhale, come up through center, spine stays long. Exhale, sweep your left arm back, coming into a twist. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears, chair pose. Exhale, sweep both arms out behind you, maybe lift the heels, coming to balance on the toes. Beautiful. Inhale, come up to stand, arms reach, maybe chest lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. From here, you're going to step your feet about mat's distance apart. Turn your toes out at a diagonal. Heels will come in towards one another. On an inhale, sweep your arms up. Look up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Bend your knees. Sink your hips down towards the ground as low as you can. So we're coming into our yogi squat. Press your elbows into your knees to open your hips towards the side and bring your heart closer towards your thumbs by lifting through your back and pulling shoulder blades towards one another. A nice long spine. Lift the chin slightly so you're looking forward. Good. From here, you're going to lower both of your hands down onto the mat, and we're going to step our left foot all the way back. Keep your right foot as it is, knee turned out. Lower your left knee onto the ground, left hand plants. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up towards the ceiling. Your hips stay down low. From there, we're going to reach our right hand over, back towards our back heel. So you're looking over your right shoulder. And then start to pull. This is an option now. Start to pull your heel in towards your butt and maybe grab onto the top of your foot. Now, if that does not feel good in your body, do not do it. The closer you bring your heel towards your butt, the more you're going to feel this across the front of your left thigh. If that's not an option for you today, that's fine. Listen to your body. From there, lower your foot back down to the mat. Both hands come to plant. Bring your right foot so it's on the inside of both hands and spin your back heel onto the mat so your toes point directly over towards the left. Power down through both feet. On an inhale, we're coming up. Lift your chest. Open your arms to a T, coming into our warrior two. So now your hips are open. Your chest and your collarbones are broad and open. Your right hand looks towards or reaches towards the front. Left hand reaches out behind you. Good. Shoulders down away from the ears. Arms strong. And from here, we're going to flip our front palm up towards the ceiling. Straighten your right leg. Reach your right arm up alongside your ears. Your left hand slides down your back leg. Lift your chest towards the ceiling. So you should feel a bit of an opening through the right side of your body. Then we're going to rebend into our right knee. Come through your warrior two, but then lower your right elbow on top of your right knee and sweep your left arm up alongside your ear. So we're coming into an extended side angle. You see how there's one long line of energy through your back heel, up your leg, and extending through your left fingertips. Maybe your gaze will turn up towards your palm. From there, you're going to sweep both hands down to the mat. We're going to step our left foot forward, coming up for a halfway lift, and then exhale for a forward fold. Inhale again for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time, inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. We've been here before. Then exhale, come to stand, hands at heart center. We're going to take the same thing again. Separate your feet so they're out wide. Toes out. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, growing long. And as you exhale, bend the knees, sink down low, hands at heart, long spine. And here, your hips may not be as low as you see here. That's fine. Sink your hips as low as you can, as low as feels possible and comfortable for you. And then sink and settle into the shape that feels best and works best in your body. So we have another breath or so to sink and ground into the shape. And then from here, you're going to lower both hands down onto the mat. And this time we're stepping our right foot back. Nice long lunge. Lower your knee down onto the ground. Hips sinking down low. Right hand stays flat. Left arm spins up towards the ceiling. Pull shoulder blades together behind you and then sweep your left arm back as if you're reaching over towards your back foot. Stay here if this feels best, or you can add in this optional quad stretch by pulling your heel in towards your butt. And again, the closer you bring it in, the more sensation you're going to feel. In each of these postures, you feel something a little bit different, so ground into that. Notice sensation of breath. Notice a sensation in the muscles. And from here, you can release your back foot down to the mat. Bring your left toes to point directly forward. Left knee on the inside of both hands. Spin your back heel, your right heel down onto the ground. Toes turn out towards the right. Then we're opening up for our warrior two. Hips and shoulders are open. Press through the pinky side edge, the outside edge of your back foot, so your sole is completely in contact with the ground. Arms in a T, and we have a few breaths to, again, sink and settle. Notice the legs, notice the hips. Good. From here, you're going to flip your front palm up towards the ceiling. Slide your right hand down your back leg, straighten your left leg, and reach your left arm up alongside your ear. So a reverse triangle. Big heart opener and side body stretch. Good. On your next exhale, you're going to re-bend into your left knee. Come through your warrior two, but then lean forward over your left leg. Left elbow comes on top of the left knee. Right bicep sweeps right up alongside your ear. Maybe you'll turn your gaze up towards the fingertips. Create one long line of energy through the right side body. Intentionally stretch and extend through the right fingertips. Hips still sinking down low. Maybe you can feel your left glute squeezing underneath you. And then we'll sweep both hands down to the mat. Frame your left foot. From there, sweep your left foot or right foot forward. Come to stand at the top of the mat. Halfway lift. And then dive for a forward fold. On the inhale, again, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chair pose. Hips low, arms high. Exhale, hands at heart center, come up to stand. Good. We'll take that again. Separate the feet so they're out wide. Coming into our malasana. From here we add on. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, sink down low for your malasana. So you can choose to stay here, or we'll add in a bit of a twist. Right fingertips come down to the ground outside of your right foot, and your left arm sweeps open. Option to stay there, or bring in a bind behind you. So your right hand would sweep around the front of your right leg. Good. Go for that clasp and then come through center, release. Left fingertips come to the mat, right arm reaches up. Stay there, or bring that bind behind your left hip. From there you can release, come through center. Both hands plant down. This time we step our left foot back, lower your knee onto the mat. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. And as you exhale, maybe you'll bring in that optional quad stretch. Squeezing the heel in towards the butt, or just sinking the hips down low. Peel the right shoulder back, maybe look over the shoulder, and then release your foot onto the ground. Right toes turned forward, back toes turn out. Inhale to come up for your warrior two. Sink the hips low, open the back shoulder. From here, keep both feet down on the ground, or press through your right toes and lift your right heel. Stay there and maybe reach your right arm up alongside your ear, coming into a reverse warrior. Then your heel comes back down onto the mat. We're coming into our extended side angle, just like we did before. This time you have an option to bring your right hand onto the mat on the inside of your right leg if you have the space, or just keep your elbow on top of your knee. Good. From there, we'll look down, stay in your extended side angle, or add in an optional hamstring stretch coming into our triangle pose. You'll glide your right leg a little closer towards straight, right arm reaching straight up towards the ceiling. Keep your right hip drawing towards the back of the room. Good. From there, we're going to bring our right hand to tuck behind our back. Left hand behind your back, and then reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Good. From there, both hands circle down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Look back in between the knees, hands plant. Send your chest a little closer towards the upper thighs. Full deep breaths. From there, look to the top of the mat. You can step or hop your way forward. Nice. This time maybe land with feet wide apart and sinking straight into our malasana, or just step to the top of the mat, separate the feet, sink down low. Left fingertips come to the mat, right arm reaches up. Optional, bind behind you. Inhale to unravel, and then switch. Right fingertips down, left arm maybe reaches up. Optional, bind behind you. So you take the option that feels best in your body, that works for your skill level. From there, the right foot steps back, right knee comes onto the ground. We're coming into our twisted lunge. Left arm reaches up, reach back for the top of the foot. Good. Still breathing. Peel the left shoulder back. Release your foot down to the mat. We're coming up for our warrior two. Back heel plants, arms to a T. Good. Sink low in the hips, option to reach your left heel up, so you're just pressing through the toes. Come up for our reverse warrior, left arm alongside your ear. As you exhale, we come into our extended side angle. Both heels down on the mat. Sweep your right arm up alongside your ear, and this time, either elbow on the knee or left hand on the inside of the left foot. Good, still breathing. From here, option to stay there. Remember, you do not have to go any further, or slowly start to bring your left leg towards straight, coming into our triangle pose. Keep the side body long on the right. Peel the right shoulder back, maybe look up towards the right fingertips. Then you're going to bring yourself into a little half bind. Right hand tucks behind your low back. Rebend into your left knee. Left arm sweeps up alongside your ear. Again, our reverse warrior. Exhale, both hands sprinkle down towards the mat. Frame your left foot, step back, downward facing dog. Lower yourself down onto your knees. You're going to glide the hips back, come into a child's pose with your forehead down on the ground. And from here, bring your hands back on either side of your feet so that your shoulders can relax down. Your back can relax, and you can sink and settle into your body, slowly deepening the breath. Now that you're grounded, go ahead and bring your hands forward onto the mat again. And this time you're going to come forward onto your hands and knees and lower yourself down onto your belly. Come to lie down, untuck the toes. From here, you're going to shoot your left hand straight out towards the left. So your palm is facing down and it's in line with your shoulder. Then bring your right hand onto the ground beside you and roll onto the left side of your body. So you're on your left hip, your left side, and then your right leg can either stack on top of your left or step behind you. So your leg almost creates like a figure four shape with your right knee pointing up towards the ceiling. So here you should feel a nice deep opening across the front of your left shoulder and your chest. And slowly roll yourself down onto your belly. We're going to switch sides. Right hand shoots straight out towards the right, palm facing down. Roll to the right outer edge of your body. Left knee is now pointing up towards the ceiling, or just have your legs stacked. Again, opening up across the front of the shoulders, the chest, the space that's generally pretty tight on most of us because we sit for most of the day. This is allowing us to open up in the opposite direction. Good. From there, slowly lower back down onto your stomach. Bring both of your hands onto the ground beside your chest. You're just going to lift yourself up, flip over onto your back, and then come to lie down on the mat. Good. From here, you're going to bring your feet in so that your feet are set up about hips distance apart, feet right in front of your sit bones, and then press into your heels and lift your hips up off the ground, coming into our bridge pose. So here you want to squeeze your glutes and engage your hamstrings underneath you so that you can lift your chest a little bit closer towards your chin. And you have the option of bringing your shoulder blades together and interlacing your fingers underneath you to get an opening through the front of the shoulders, through the front of the chest, and the hip flexors. And slowly lower yourself back down to the mat. We're going to pull our right knee in and then create a figure 4 with our right leg. So your right knee opens out towards the right, and you'll cross your ankle on top of your left leg. And here you can interlace your fingers either on the back of your left thigh or the front of your left shin so that you're pulling your right ankle a little bit closer towards your face. Again, opening up the hips. You might be able to feel a nice stretch in your right glute. Dive into what you're feeling. Notice any sensations, any tightness, any places that feel open. Simply breathe. And from there, you can slowly release your left foot down to the mat. Then we're going to drop the entire shape over towards the left. So your right foot is going to plant on the ground off the left side of your mat. Knees still opening out away from your face. Arms come to a T and then look over your right shoulder. So bringing a bit of a twist through your spine. Still leaning into the support underneath you. From there, you can slowly lift yourself back up through center. Then we're going to switch legs, now creating that figure 4 with your left knee. And then reach down. You can grab for the back of your thigh or the front of your right shin. Again, pulling the knee in towards you to open up the hips. And here you don't have to pull and tug really, really hard. We're not forcing ourselves into the shape. You choose the variation of the shape that works best for you. So if having your foot down on the ground worked better, having your right foot planted, then stay there. This practice isn't about forcing ourselves into these shapes. The practice is about grounding. So notice what you're feeling. Notice your breath. From here, you're going to drop the entire shape over towards the right, bringing your left foot to plant down on the ground and still pushing your knee out away from your face. Then turn your gaze over towards your left shoulder. Again, a slight twist to the spine. You might be able to feel this across the front outer edge of your left hip, your TFL muscle. Wherever you're feeling this sensation in your body, ground into that. Allow your mind to focus on what you're feeling. Nice. And then slowly lift the entire shape back up. Unravel the legs, pull both knees in tight towards your chest, hugging yourself into a little ball. And then from here, go ahead and rock yourself from side to side a couple times, just feeling your back rolling against the mat. Good. From there, we'll extend the legs down long and bringing the arms down beside you. And this is arguably one of the best postures in the entire flow, in the entire yoga sequence of asanas, of postures. Shavasana, our final shape. And it's super simple. You just come to lie down on the ground flat, arms beside you, the back of your neck's nice and long. And the entire point of this pose is so that your body has time to integrate everything that we just did. So you're completely grounded, completely supported by the earth underneath you. So with that, start to drop everything. Release any tension from the body, any thoughts that you've been carrying with you. Surrender it all down into the earth, so that for these last few moments of your practice, you can simply notice the support, the sensation, and the presence that you've been able to cultivate throughout your practice. From here, we're slowly going to start to bring some movement back into our bodies. You can wiggle fingers and toes, rotate wrists and ankles. On an inhale, stretch your arms above your head, point down through the toes. And exhale, roll onto your favorite side and rest your head on your upper arm. Here we'll pause to notice the difference that our practice has made, not only in the way we feel physically, but in our mental space as well. From there, Now you can push yourself up to a seat, and we'll gather with hands at heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.